Hello, good morning friends. Welcome to this class, and we have been studying about the transport system in our country. We saw yesterday about the super highways that are there in our country, which are of 6 lane, and the distance to cover the distance from one metropolitan city to the another city, it has been reduced because of this good road. So that way the movement of the goods and the people will be much faster in these lanes. And today let us study about national highways. The national highways, what are the importance of these national highways and what is national highway, and so let's see. You can take page number 82. So national highways link extreme parts of the country. So national highways are linking one part which is in the one corner, it is linking to another part which is in another corner. So extreme corners are connected. And these are the primary road systems that are laid and mainland by the Central Public Works Department. So these roads, who is responsible for maintaining this road? Central Public Works Department. That is, we call it in the state PWD, isn't it? But the national highways are under the in charge of Central Ministry. Therefore, it is Central Public Works Department. They are the one responsible for making national highways. A number of major national highways run in north, south and east-west directions. So we said national highways are connecting the extreme sides of India. From north to south and the east to west, the country is connected by these national highways. And the historical Sher-Shah Sri Marg is called National Highway number 1 between Delhi and Amritsar. So every national highway is given a number, and the national highway number 1 is the road connecting between Amritsar and Delhi. That is very famous. What is another name for this? It is also called Sher-Shah Sri Marg. Sher-Shah Sri Marg. So that is known as National Highway number 1. Then we can also see in the picture, the map given here, the national highways. So look at it nicely and try to find out the numbers. What are the numbers given to it? So a number is printed there and you will be able to see it. Can you find out the national highway that is moving through this Arunachal? How many national highways are there in Itanagar or in Arunachal? Try to find it out. Some place names are already mentioned there: Pasigat, Itanagar and so on. So try to find out which national highway is passing through Ziro. Though it is national highway, we cannot call it national highway by seeing the condition of it, isn't it? So it doesn't matter. It is considered as national highway and it is under central government, and the central government issues money to the state government to monitor the work. Very often the money is eaten up and the work is not done in the proper way. So that's why most of our roads are remaining like that. So that is national highways. Now let's see state highways. So roads linking a state capital with different district headquarters are known as state highways. So state highways are within the state. It is connecting different districts to the state capital. That is called state highways. Then these roads are constructed and maintained by the State Public Works Department, PWD, in the state and union territory. So the national highways are repaired by Central Public Works Department and the state highways are repaired by Public Works Department. So remember that difference. Then district roads. Again, when we come down to district, there are lot of roads are there. So these roads connect the district headquarters with other places of the district, and these roads are maintained by Zilla Parishad. So just like the state highways are connecting the state capital to the different district headquarters, the district itself, the headquarters is there, and that is connected with roads to different centers or different places in that district. And who is responsible for maintaining this road? It is by Zilla Parishad. Then other roads. So rural roads which link rural areas and villages with towns are classified under this category. So when we say other roads, what are the other roads? Rural roads which link rural areas and villages with towns. So the village will be connected with the nearby town, that is called village road. And these roads received special impetus under the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. So there was a project sanctioned by the central government that is called Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. So under this program, all the village roads received lot of attention, and the government helped them to improve the condition of this road. Then under this scheme, special provisions are made so that every village in the country is linked to a major town in the country by an all-season motorable road. So under this project or under this scheme, the government had a plan that every road in this country, especially the village roads in our country, it should be connected to the nearby town. So no village should be cut off, and it should be one kind of road, all season motorable road. So that road should be able to use for running of the vehicle in all seasons, whether it is a winter season or rainy season or summer season or whatever maybe, all season throughout the year vehicle should be able to go through that. So in our place, most of the time you find even national highways are not useful during the rainy season or monsoon season, landslides and so then what will be the condition of the village roads, we can imagine. But it is a government plan, and maybe it is remaining only in the paper. As I said before, the money must have been sanctioned, but it has not been implemented. That is a problem in our country. So it is the government's plan to develop all the roads so that no one will be cut off. Even in the rainy season, people should be able to drive vehicle and go to that town. In case anybody is sick, they should be able to go to hospital and so on. That is the purpose that the government has made this plan, to make road, every village road, motorable in all seasons. Then another road is called border roads. Border means the border of our country, the road that is going along the border, that is called border roads. So apart from this, Border Roads Organization, or it is called BRO, a government of India undertaking constructs and maintains roads in the bordering areas of the country. So we need to protect our country, and the soldiers who are guarding our country, we need to reach to them food, weapons and all the facilities. Therefore, roads should be constructed nicely along the borders with other countries. And therefore, government has made a special organization called Border Roads Organization, and this organization is given the responsibility of constructing roads through the borders, along the borders, to help the soldiers. So that road should be much more good in quality, and therefore government has entrusted with them. Then this organization was established in 1960 for the development of the roads of strategic importance in the northern and northeastern border areas. So especially in the northeastern part of our country, we have bordered with so many other countries. In the north and the northeastern part, we are bordering with so many other countries: China, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan. All these we are bordering. Therefore, we need a lot of border roads are there. And these roads have improved accessibility in areas. So a good access is there in this road, improved accessibility is there, especially in this difficult terrain. We know most of our north and northeastern parts are hilly, part of Himalaya mountains, and therefore to make road in this hilly area, it is not that easy. So it is really a very hard job, hard task, and it has helped in the economic development of this area. So this And these roads are used not only just meant for soldiers, but it is also used by the people who are living in the border areas. And because of these roads that are made, the people have a good accessibility to things, to the towns and so on, and it has helped them to develop economically as well. Otherwise they would have remained in the backward region, no road, no connection. They had to walk miles and miles and maybe for days and days in order to reach the next nearby town. So in order to help them, also government has made these border roads so that everyone has got access to the nearby town. Then roads can also be classified on the basis of the type of material used for their construction, such as metal and unmetal road. So long we were dividing the road based on the importance: super highways, national highways, state highways, district highways, village roads, and so on. Now all these roads are not constructed with the same materials. Different roads are constructed with different materials. And so based on the material that is used, we can also divide the roads into different. Let's see what are they. Metal and unmetal. Metal means the chips that we use, the stone chips that we use, the gravel that we use, and so on. That's called metal. So some of the roads you can see it is blacktop, and some of the roads are just muddy roads. Those roads during the rainy season, the vehicles will be struggling to pass through, and it will be like a muddy field. Even the blacktop road that we have here, which was done just little less than 1 year ago, we can see what is the condition. It is full of potholes, and many places the tar is not seen at all. So that is the quality of the work that is done here. So whatever may be, it is all the duty of the government to check how the developmental works are carried out, how they are implemented, and so on. So metal roads may be made of cement, concrete, or even bitumen or coal. Therefore, these are all weather roads. So metal road means the road that is made with cement, concrete road, or it can be made with bitumen or coal. That is the black thing that we put on this. That is called bitumen. That is coming from the coal and separated from coal. So these roads will be all weather roads. That means in the rainy season and the summer season they will be always able to go through these roads. And unmetal roads go out of use in the rainy season. So the unmetal road, that is mostly in the villages we will find, that is cannot be used for the vehicles, especially during the rainy season. It will be unusable. So metal road is for all weather seasons, and unmetal road will be for only good dry season. Now let us come to another topic about road. So long we were talking about the different types of highways. Now let's see about road density. The road density. The length of the road per 100 square kilometer of area is known as density of roads. We saw earlier the population density. The number of people living in 1 square kilometer, that is called population density. The same way, the area of road per 100 square kilometer, that is called area of road density. So within 100 square kilometers, how much is the road available? What is the length of the road? Total number of roads or total length of the road within this 100 square kilometers. That is called road density. You can underline what is the meaning of road density. So distribution of road is not uniform in our country. Density of all roads varies from only 12.14 kilometer in Jammu and Kashmir to 517.77 kilometer in Kerala as on March 2011. So as per the records available in 2011, the density of roads in Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, it is only 12.14 1.14. So it is a mountain region, they cannot cut road anywhere, everywhere. Therefore, very few roads are there. So all the roads, if you put together, what will be the total length in Kashmir in 100 square kilometers? It will be just 12.14 kilometers long. But if you go to Kerala, you will find more roads, and in 100 square kilometer, you will find 517.77 kilometers long. So with a national average of 142.68 kilometer. So if you take the average road density of our country per 100 square kilometer, what is the length of the road? It's only just 142. So Kerala has got much higher than 5 times higher than the national average. So Kerala has got more roads, while the Jammu and Kashmir has got so little, just 12.14 kilometers. Road transportation in India faces a number of problems. Keeping in view the volume of traffic and passengers, the road network is inadequate. About half of the roads are unmetalled, and this limits their usage during the rainy season. So we said we have a lot of roads are there, but at the same time the government project has not been put into practice. Every road is supposed to be metal and all weather season roads. But we find in our villages the roads are still very muddy, very unmetal roads, and therefore during the rainy season they become untravelable. We cannot move on this. Vehicle gets stuck up, and even walking on foot, it is so muddy, so dirty that we dare not to venture out. That is a problem that we face in our country. So the national highways are inadequate too. So we have so many national highways are there, but based on the size of our country, such a vast country, the number of highways are still inadequate. And moreover, the roadways are highly congested. The roadways are highly congested in cities, and most of the bridges and culverts are old and narrow. So the roads in our city are very congested. That's why when we go to the town, very often we are finding the traffic jam. The number of vehicles are so high and the road is so narrow. And sometimes in between there is a culvert is there or a bridge is there, and it is very old and also very narrow. The heavy vehicles cannot pass through on that one because it is so weak, and the bridge may collapse and cause accident. So because of that, traffic has to be controlled. Two vehicles cannot go at a time. So a lot of problems are there. Therefore, we need to improve our roads conditions and make the traffic smoother so that people will be able to move faster and reach their destination in time. However, in recent years, fast development of road work has taken place in different parts of the country. So government is aware about this situation, therefore they are trying to develop the roads. They are trying to improve the conditions of the roads in this past few years. So let's hope that they will do well and our roads will really improve the situation. That is our hope. Let us wait and see. Now let us come to another type of transportation, that is railways. The railways. Railways are the principal mode of transportation for freight and passengers in India. So railways are the principal mode of transportation for freight and passengers in the country. So freight means carrying things. So railway is used mainly for to carry heavy things or a lot of passengers, or also to carry such a long distance. If it is only for a short distance, nobody goes by train. They go by other public transport, roadways. So but if the goods are very heavy, to carry by truck is difficult. Therefore we need the help of train. And so train is used in our country mainly for carrying goods and passengers for such a long distance. Railways also make it possible to conduct multifarious activities like business, sightseeing, pilgrimage, along with transportation of goods over long distances. So we can underline what are the other activities for which railway is used. So it is used for conducting business, so people who want to do business for carrying things and so selling things. Then people who want to go for sightseeing, they can go by train, they can see all the beautiful sceneries and reach their destination. So then also people who go for pilgrimage to visit the holy places, and so they can go by train. Then along with transportation of goods over long distances, so people also use railway for carrying goods that needs to be carried such a long distance. Then apart from an important means of transport, the Indian railways have been a great integration force for more than 150 years. So railway in our country is how many years old? 150 years old. And railways in India bind the economic life of the country as well as accelerate the development of the industry and agriculture. So railway, we can say it is binding the economic development of the industry and agriculture. So both industry and agriculture in India, the development is bound together with this railway. So it is the railway that is connecting the development of both industry and agriculture. Then the Indian Railway have a network of 7,133 stations spread over the route length of 64,460 kilometers. So in the railway, there are railway stations and the train does not stop anywhere. As we stop the taxi, the train will not stop anywhere other than the limited the stations. So how many railway stations are there in India? We have 7,133 stations are there. And what is the total length of the railway line? 64,460 kilometers. A fleet of 9,230 locomotives. So we have, how many locomotives are there? Locomotives means the engines. We have 9,213 train engines are there. Then 53,220 passenger vehicles are there. How many vehicles are there? 53,220 trains are there. Then 6,493 other coach vehicles. So other coaches, that is 6,493. And 2,29,381 wagons as on March 2011. So we have a lot of properties are there in the railway, but when we go through the train, we can find the quality is not maintained. The railway coaches are not clean at all. Sometimes water is not available. The cleanliness is not there. The facilities are not there. So somehow railways sometimes think it is a means of making profit. So but they fail to provide quality service, the food and so on. Even sometimes it is not very safety. Recently we find so many people are being assaulted, and our railway has become very insecure place to travel or insecure means of travel. So government need to take more steps to provide better security, more safety and better quality service, and so then certainly the railways in India will become one of the best in the world. So the government need to take extra care, extra step and to provide, and the officers who are responsible, they also need to be alert and vigilant in order to provide and serve to the consumers, the passengers and so on. So Indian Railway is the largest public sector undertaking in the country. So it is, and the railway is a public sector company that is owned by the Indian government, and it is the largest. So now the government also started making it giving it to private sector. That means the private people are also invited to run a railway in the country. So there are already some trains are running which are owned by the private companies. Then the first train steamed off from Mumbai to Thane in 1853, covering a distance of 34 kilometers. We can underline that. So the first train in our country that started from Mumbai to Thane, that is in Maharashtra, and it was running only just 34 kilometers. That was the first train. That was in 1853. You can underline the date when was the first train flagged off and from where to where, and what was the total distance it was covering. All that you can make it. Then the distribution pattern of the railway network in the country has been largely influenced by physiographic, economic and administrative factors. So we said early that just as we make a road, we cannot make railways. On the hilltops and the deep valleys and all, we cannot construct railways. It can be considered or constructed only in the plain areas where the geographic is quite suitable, and also economic and administrative factors, and also even if there is a plain area, we cannot simply make a railway to the deep interior village, because it will be running at a loss. No, there will not be enough passengers, there will not be enough goods to carry, and so therefore government will see to consider and to construct a railway line, whether it is going to be profitable or not, whether it is going to be economic or not. Accordingly they will make. Simply anywhere they will not make. The northern plains with their vast level land, high population density and rich agricultural resources provided the most favorable condition for their growth. So what became the most important source of the growth of the railway? That is the northern, we said about the northern plain. I hope you remember that we studied about the physical features, the northern plains, where a lot of cultivation is going on, and so that became one of the reasons. The thickly populated area, lot of population is there, lot of cultivation, production of agricultural products, all these are there. So that people needed to travel from one place to another. They need to carry the production, their agricultural production from one place to another, and so that way the railways grew up, they flourished and developed there very well. However, a large number of rivers requiring construction of bridges across their wide beds posed some obstacles. So as they were constructing the railways, what was the objection that was there? That was because in this area 3 major rivers are there and their tributaries are there, and therefore a lot of places railway has to cross these rivers and the streams. Therefore they had to make bridges, and so that became a little extra expense for constructing the railway. And in the hilly terrains of the peninsular region, railway tracks are laid through low hills, gaps or tunnels. And in the southern side, as is in the peninsular plateaus, there are small hills are there, not very huge high hills like northeast, but there are hills are there, and the train has to go through that one. So they have to cut the mountain, or they have to make a tunnel through the mountain, and so that all costs a lot of expenses, a lot of extra work for constructing the railways. Then the Himalayan mountain regions too are unfavorable for the construction of railway lines due to high relief, sparse population and lack of economic opportunities. And so the Himalayan region, we know the region is very high, mountains are there, and therefore constructing this railway line to the Himalayan mountain is not very easy. First of all, there are very few people are settled in Himalayan mountains, and to construct the railway line over the high mountains, it is not going to be easy. It is very expensive, and also since people are not there, it is going to be very risky, we can say, or it is going to be very expensive. The government is not going to get any profit as well. So we can underline that. What are the obstacles for constructing railway lines to the Himalayan mountain. First of all, the high relief, then secondly it is because of lack of population and lack of economic opportunities. There is no business to be done, no things to carry and so on. Because of these three reasons, we can say construction of railways over the Himalayan mountain is not that profitable. Then likewise, it was difficult to lay railway lines on the sandy plain of western Rajasthan, swamps of Gujarat, forested tracts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Jharkhand. So some other places like Odisha or Rajasthan, what is the problem? Rajasthan, a lot of area is covering with desert and it is sandy place. And therefore, to put the track, railway track on this over the sand is not that easy. It will not be that firm since the sand is very loose. And some other states, it is having problem of marshy place. The place is long through the water, and therefore through the water going also is not safe. The railway line can sink down. And some places it is forest, lot of trees are there nearby. So like different problems are there, difficulties are there in constructing this railway line in different parts of the country. Then the contiguous stretch of Sahyadri could be crossed only through gaps or passes. And in recent times, the development of Konkan Railway along the west coast has facilitated the movement of passengers and goods in this most important economic region of India. So in some other places like Sahyadri mountain, lot of mountains are there, therefore either they have to cut down the mountain and make halt for the train to pass through, or they have to, if it is very high mountain, then they have to make hole, and through that hole, or it is called tunnel, through the tunnel they have to pass through. That is again very expensive. However, there's a new railway track is coming, that is called Konkan Railway. It is going along the western side of India, and that has helped this industry, the economic, help to develop and improve the economic activities. It's a busy region, therefore a lot of people are there to travel, and a lot of things are there to be carried, and therefore it has become a very important railway line in our country. It is called Konkan Railway. And it has also faced a number of problems such as sinking of track in some stretches and landslides. So just like the roads are facing the problem, this railway line, this Konkan railway line also is facing problem, because some places the mountain is cut and the landslide occurs and a lot of mud is falling on the railway track and it is blocking the way, and therefore such kind of problems are there. And some places it is sinking, the soil is not hard enough, therefore when the train is going through, the sand or the land is sinking down. So that is another problem. So government will have to rectify all these things. Then today, the railways have become more important in our national economy than all the other means of transport put together. So all the other transport means road transport, water transport, air transport. So putting all these three together, other one alone will be standing. Railway alone will be standing in the other side, and railway is, we can say, it is very important for our country. However, rail transport suffers from certain problems as well. Many passengers travel without tickets, and the thefts and the damaging of railway property has not yet stopped completely. And people stop trains, pull the chain unnecessarily, and this causes heavy damage to the railway. And think over it, how can we help our railway in running as per the scheduled time? So we know Indian Railway is known for its not keeping the timing. When we take the ticket, it will be written there, train will be reporting at such and such time, moving in such and such time. But always they will have some problems and they will never move in time. And that is one problem that railway is facing. Then people, those who travel, they are also not gentle enough. Sometimes they want to get down in some place, and so they pull the chain. There's an emergency chain is provided in every compartment, and that is only meant for using emergency to stop the train. But some people are so crooked, they want to just get in front of their house, therefore they will pull that chain, they stop the train and make the all the other passengers suffer and they lose their time. So that's such kind of things are taking place. Then some thieves are always there in the train. They try to loot the passengers and try to steal all the valuable things. So all these problems are there. Therefore, some people are also there trying to travel without taking ticket, without paying money. They think it is of the government. Why should we pay money? The government is ours. Therefore, people can cheat also because it is such a long train, a long journey. They can just get inside after some time before the TTR comes for checking. You can just get down from the train and go and so on. So a lot of cheating also is going on. So we need to realize it is a public sector industry and therefore it belongs to us. If it is improving, the credit is for us. If it is going back to bad or worse, then it is a shame for us. So let us, each Indian citizen need to try very hard that in order to improve the situation. So we need to cooperate with the authorities, we need to provide our own cooperation so that the railway can function well, and then we can make use of this railway for the development of our economy, for the benefit of all the people and so on. So let's hope for the best and hope that our railway will rise higher and higher and reach to the one of the best in the world. So thank you for listening, and we'll see again in the next class about another mode of transportation, that is pipelines. So bye, meet you in the next day.